Chapter -17, A Nightmare by Frank. The meeting was long and quite boring at times, but overall the message was a bit sad. Evil was targeting someone who was probably a member of the Marescamar Council, and at that point there was not much anyone could do except to watch out for anything strange. At the end of the meeting, Miguel announced that he was going away with Decker. "We'll be looking out for any activity by the time virus," he said. Decker smiled at everyone. "We'll be back in a few weeks," he added, "so don't do anything we wouldn't do while we're gone." Solo grinned at Decker and Miguel. "We might," he said, throwing his arm around Escher's shoulders. Miguel threw his head back and roared with laughter. "Not likely," he said. "There's not much I wouldn't do, and if you get caught up in any of those things, I'm not sure where you'll end up." Decker gave Solo and Escher high fives and then turned to Blizzard. "We'll miss you two," said Blizzard, "but have a brilliant trip." Miguel beamed at Decker. "I believe we shall," he said. Decker nodded. "No doubt." I loved Miguel and Decker. They were both so confident and wild. When the meeting finished, I asked Blizzard about Momentum. "It seems a bit cruel for him to be stuck in that tank," I said. "Oh, he only goes into that so he can attend our meetings," said Blizzard in a low voice. "He lives in the Indigo Sea. Can you imagine his fury if he had to be cooped up in a tank all his life?" Yes," I said, pulling a face. "Not good," said Blizzard, with a wry grin. On the morning after the council's meeting, Minnow looked terrible. "What's wrong?" I asked. "Not here," she whispered. Minnow and I slipped away and sat on one of the branches of the tree that wrapped itself around the tower. "I had the worst nightmare," she said in a low voice, "but I don't want Sky or Ben to hear in case it freaks them." I frowned. "Man," I said, "the thieves are still in prison, though." "I know," said Minnow. "Maybe it was the council's meeting that set me off, but I can't help what I dream." I nodded. "What was it?" "I saw a boy. He was dark like Ben, and he was all alone. I saw him shivering on a vast plain of mud. There weren't many trees, just a few, and so much fog. It was horrible." I shivered. "And then there was another boy who offered to play conkers with him." "Conkers? It's a game with horse chestnuts. Kids drill a hole in them and dangle the chestnuts from a piece of string. Then they take turns to hit one another's conker. Remember?" Minnow stared at me. "Maybe," I said, vaguely remembering. "We saw it in that old movie about the kids with the wild horses, and I showed you a video of some old guys playing conkers. They kept hitting themselves accidentally." "Sort of like marbles, but on a string?" I asked. "Yes," said Minnow. "Anyway, in my dream, the kid with the conkers gave the little one a really small conker, and then the little kid started weeping. After that, the older kid got angry and kept hitting his conker against the little kid's feet. It was horrible. I hope it doesn't mean that something bad is going to happen." I felt as if a dark cloud came over me. "Please, no," I said. I couldn't bear it if evil somehow got hold of Ben or Sky again, or their relatives. "Or us," said Minnow. I stared at her. I hadn't even thought that evil might attack us. Minnow shrugged. "Maybe I just ate too much junk food after the meeting," she said. "That can cause bad dreams." I nodded, but inside I felt terrible.